Welcome to the Grizzled Geek in Review for March 31st, 2017. I'm Mike.
And I'm Doug.
And this is our fifth Grizzled Geek in Review for the month of March.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there were 2 months a year. We'll have 5 of these. So.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, there we go.
Lucky you. Superheroes, kids, superheroes. Lots of news. Yeah. Mostly Spider-Man news.
Mostly, yeah.
Mostly. None of it that great.
Yeah, no, not very.
Well, we'll start off. Sony has made some odd announcements earlier on in the week, such as a R-rated Venom movie.
Which makes no sense. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah.
Context.
Black Cat Silver Sable movie. Basically, okay. And they're all going to be in the same universe, but without Spider-Man. So it's not going to be connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right.
Which made us scratch our heads when we found this out earlier in the week.
Yeah.
What do they plan on doing with this? Latest information about the Venom movies. Well, it's going to be rated R, thanks to Deadpool and Logan doing so well. Adi Shankar's looking to direct. So we'll see. He's the one who actually wanted to do the Dread sequel.
Yeah.
We talked about it in one of the earlier things. But whether that comes along or not, we're not sure. They're also planning an animated Miles Morales Spider-Man movie.
That could be cool.
Yeah, I think we've all mentioned all this before, but recent comments have suggested that there may be a Spider-Man in this universe after all, because they've suggested that they might be taking Spider-Man back, taking the toys and going home after the sequel. I mean,
and that's all based on Amy Pascal making this statement.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think is so amazing about this experience is that you don't have studios deciding to work together to make a film very often. In fact, it may never happen again after we do the sequel.
Right.
So that people have taken to be her suggesting that they're going to take Spider-Man back and then probably plug them into this universe they've started.
Right. Now, to be fair, Amy Pascal is no longer the head of Sony Studios. She is, however, an executive producer on Spider-Man movies and someone in the know in Sony. So if this is true, it would mean that Sony, after a failed attempt to reboot the Spider-Man franchise, turned to Marvel to make the character popular again, and then looks like after that they want to seal him back for their own cinematic universe. It's all speculation, of course.
Yeah.
Well, all we have is her comment to go on, but that seems pretty specific there.
Well, and look at the rest of this. None of these announcements make any sense.
Yeah.
We've only seen Venom on screen in the third Sam Raimi Spider-Man, and it didn't go well.
No.
No. Otherwise, if you're not a comic book fan, if you just know Spider-Man from the movies or whatnot, you probably don't know who Venom is or know very little about him, and they don't have Spider-Man to set up the character as, the relationship between the symbiote and Eddie Brock, if they're going to use Eddie Brock, and Spider-Man. So, there's no story. There's no background for a story there. Yeah. And then Black Cat and Silver Sable, nobody knows who these characters are. No one's going to go, I don't know what their thought process is on this. It's like, hey, look at all the mistakes that DC made. Right. Let's do those.
Now, here's the thing. Right now, it's all speculation. It's just the words of one person. Mm-hmm. What could happen? I mean, anything can happen, right? Assuming Spider-Man is a big success, a huge success like it looks like it's going to be.
Right.
Yeah. And a sequel does well. And assuming that the Venom, Black Cat, and Silver Sable movies don't do well, which is likely, given that there's no Spider-Man in them.
Yeah.
The chance of them stealing them back to make mediocre movies is unlikely. They'll probably stick with the proven moneymaker of Disney.
One would hope.
One would hope. So we'll see what comes of that. But yeah, lots of weird news about Spider-Man. We also got a little bit of information about Homecoming, right? About the Vulture, Michael Keaton's Vulture, who looks amazing in the trailer.
Yeah.
See our trailer review, our reaction.
Yeah, reaction review should be posted soon.
Yeah. And then, but yeah, he's playing the Vulture, and apparently he's going to be like this blue-collar guy. He's going to be in charge of a company. Him, the guy who's playing Shocker, and the Tinkerer all work for him. And their job is to clean up after
superhero messes,
right? And Tony Stark's going to come along and take their jobs with founding a company, Damage Control, which if you were a fan of the comics know, it was a great comic about basically just that, the cleanup crew.
Funny enough, in the comics, it was co-owned by Tony Stark and
Reed Richards.
no, Wilson Fisk.
Oh, it was Wilson Fisk. Oh, that's right, the Kingpin. That's
so
right.
both sides of the aisle were making money off of superhero, supervillain battles.
That's true. I remember that now. Yes. So, yeah, exactly. So Damage Control is going to be coming in and taking their jobs. So he's called the Vulture because he, picks over all this alien tech or fallen superhero tech.
Right.
And they go around making their own stuff now. Seeing how they got a bone to pick with Tony Stark. So it's kind of an interesting take on the character.
Yeah. Sounds good. Looks good.
Super excited about it. So hopefully, like I said, Marvel will be making Spider-Man movies for a while.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, tons of Spider-Man news. Also, we have a couple other, tons of entertainment news. Just on the podcast the other day, Kevin Smith and Mark Bernard announced 2 projects that they're working on separately. Kevin Smith said he's working on a treatment for Sam and Twitch for BBC America. Now, for those of you who don't know, Sam and Twitch are the human cop characters from the Spawn comic book from Todd McFarlane. Right. And he equated to like the opposite of like Dogma, where Dogma is about church and God and all that. This is about hell and demons and stuff. So kind of like a supernatural cop.
Okay.
Thriller. So it sounds exciting. I'll watch anything that Kevin Smith does. I even got a record. I've seen Yoga Hosers. So make of that what you will. But yeah, and then Mark Bernard and his other partner on the Fat Man or Batman podcast is also made an announcement that he's working on a project, and he kind of hinted at a project he's working on, but he finally got to announce it, and he's one of the writers on the writing team for Castle Rock. And for those Stephen King fans out there that know, Castle Rock is the fictional town in Maine where the majority of Stephen King's novels take place.
Yeah.
So the great thing about this is it's a series that's going to have all kinds of characters, from different Stephen King stories.
Right.
Right, going to appear in this. Hopefully, it'll center around, Sheriff Pangborn and all the, the main cast of Castle Rock there, and then have other characters from other stories in it. So I'm excited about that. It's not, they're still in the development stages for both these things, so, stay tuned for more information.
All right, we also got news that Joss Whedon should be, or is looking at writing, producing, and directing a Batgirl movie.
Holy. Bringing in the big guns to save the DC.
Yeah, presumably this would be in the DC Extended Universe, so it would cross over with the others, which would then give us an opportunity to see our new Commissioner Gordon and some of the other characters, assuming it's placed in Gotham.
Right, yeah. With a Nightwing movie, and, if...
It could be Bloodhaven, it could be Gotham. Who knows which way they're going to go with that. Yeah. It's also, if it sticks with the DCEU, it's in the future where, Batgirl would be a little older, Nightwing's a little older, so that would be an interesting take on that. So.
And if Ben Affleck doesn't want to be Batman anymore, this could be a good way to keep those characters around, having shows focus on, Nightwing and Batgirl.
Right.
And they're poaching Marvel talent with Joss Whedon.
Yeah, there you go.
So, but he left when he left Avengers. He over studio interference, and now looks like DC's finally just handing out the creative control left and right. I'm assuming he wouldn't come onto this project without creative control.
Right. Yeah. Which it's exciting to have Joss Whedon on the project. However, they're going the wrong direction with handing out creative control to all these diverse directors instead of having Jeff Johns be in charge.
I probably think it's less of a risk. So she's not as big a known character as Batman.
Maybe that's true.
But
true enough.
Joss Whedon. His work on Buffy alone is enough for me to watch this.
Oh right.
I'll watch it. Yeah, I'm excited. In fact, this is with just an announcement of this has got me the most excited for any DCEU movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Now,
most definitely.
Also, possibly The Flash has its fourth director since the project was announced.
Yeah.
Jordan Peele's in talks to direct The Flash. Jordan Peele of Get Out fame, his movie that just came out last month, was for quite a bit of acclaim. People are excited about that movie. Great thriller. Yeah. I've yet to see it. I want to, but I haven't yet.
Or from Key and Peele, if you're.
Oh yeah, he's from Key and Peele. Key and Peele.
Yeah.
But that is just a rumor right now. But what he is in talks to direct is an adaptation of the Akira anime. So, and this has been in development since off and on various stages since 2008, when Leonardo DiCaprio's company Appian Way acquired the rights to it.
Right.
I know Leonardo DiCaprio has been trying to back this for a while now, and it's been honestly in developmental hell since the 90s.
Yeah.
So they've been trying to make this movie for a while now, but it looks like they're really close. And the quote is they're aggressively courting Jordan Peele.
Okay.
So we'll see. I mean, that movie, Get Out, just opened up some doors for him, and I'm really happy to see him because he's, see what he can do with these projects. I want to see both those. I want to see a Flash movie and an the Akira movie. So.
Yeah, definitely. All right. It also looks like there's a rumor that Jeremy Renner may appear in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
Presumably, he could be just as himself, as Clint Barton, since I believe he's one of the ones on the run from Team Cap. So that
makes sense. Yeah.
Well, and they were together, both Ant-Man and Hawkeye were together in prison. So, there's a connection there. So that'd be interesting.
If we get to see him shoot him off an arrow again, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that was good.
That was the exciting part.
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
Yeah, it'd be a good addition to that cast. And then we've got a ton of trailers this week. DC opened up the volley with Justice League. You can see our review of that trailer.
Yep.
I think it's up on the site. But then Marvel decided to answer back with their Spider-Man Homecoming trailer.
Which we did a reaction
Yeah, we did
video
a reaction to. So we've got trailers this week from Valerian to It, the new Stephen King It, which looks scary as hell. Apparently they're just doing like the kids version of it, not the adult.
Okay.
So maybe that'll be the sequel. The War for Planet of the Apes this week, which looks amazing.
Yeah.
Unlike the original War of Ape movies, which got progressively worse, these seem to be getting better.
Yeah.
I mean, at one time they were like in modern day USA in the old ones.
Yeah.
They got weirder and weirder. And then Game of Thrones even. We got a trailer for that, although people are all excited about Game of Thrones. At least this is, better than watching a block of ice melt to announce when it was going to premiere. But it's just pretty much just Jon Snow. If you missed it, spoilers, I'm going to recap it for you here. Jon Snow, Cersei, and Daenerys are walking. They walk for like a minute, and then they sit on a chair at the end of it. And then, in a very M. Shyamalan twist at the end, Queen Cersei breathes out. It's cold, air's cold because winter's here already, and then her breath becomes the eye of a White Walker. So there's your twist. That was it.
Interesting.
The whole minute and a half of them walking, and then sitting in a chair. And yet somehow it's just still exciting for the series. I was still watched it a couple times. I don't know why, but
that's hilarious.
But tons of trailers this week. Everyone's dropping their the new trailers. We're excited. We're reviewing as many as we can. This week is Justice League and Spider-Man. What do we do? What do we review? Yeah. And then we'll try and get to some of the others as they come out. Probably not any of these because they'll be over a week old. But
yeah. All right.
But that's it for entertainment news.
All right. Let's move into comics then. Marvel and its Generations storyline that's coming out.
It's a cool Alex Ross cover that we tease.
Which he may or may not have anything else to do with the thing than that teaser.
Yeah, exactly.
So just to recap, Generations is an event that's coming out which is going to team up the new generation of heroes of the various named heroes, the replacements of Iron Man, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Thor, all of that, with their legacy version. So you're going to have Logan and X-23. You're going to have Bruce Banner somehow and Amadeus Cho.
Why, Doug, isn't Bruce Banner and Wolverine dead? And isn't Captain America a bad guy?
They are. Yet Marvel says they have an ingenious way to make this happen that's not...
It's going to be time travel?
There's no time travel.
Oh.
No reality altering. Well, there's probably reality altering, but it's not an alternate reality. It's not a what-if comic.
Oh, it's going to be actual in the main storyline?
It's in the main storyline.
However, they're going to do that.
I don't know. This is just... It sounds worse and worse every announcement they make about it. Apparently, the new characters aren't doing too well.
That's shocking.
Yeah,
That's shocking that they kill off
Iron
characters
Man,
that people have been following for all their life.
When somebody who's watched all the Iron Man movies and loves Tony Stark goes to read an Iron Man comic and finds Riri Williams as Iron Man, they might be a little disappointed.
Like, why is this girl Iron Man?
Yeah.
Why isn't she?
Why isn't she Iron Woman
or some other person
Iron
in a
Girl
suit
or something like that? Same thing with I think Spider-Man. Miles Morales as Spider-Man, Jane Foster as Thor, and X-23 as Wolverine have had the most success.
Most success, yeah.
Those characters are pretty accepted because they've got some traction to them, some background that put them into those spots.
Right.
But some of the other ones are struggling.
I was reading some comic book shop owner forums, and they were talking about how sales are down quite a bit.
Yeah.
Both Marvel and DC, but especially Marvel now with all the replacement characters. And I mean, there's been all kinds of articles. Breitbart wrote an article about why too much social justice, too many alternative different races and different women and stuff like that in these roles, which doesn't make any sense. These characters, yes, they need to update some of the characters, or you want to have more diversity in Marvel Comics. Make some new and exciting characters, or don't get rid of the ones that people have been following for years, right?
Sure.
I think that's part of the problem. I mean, they're killing off characters. Why would they kill off Bruce Banner for Amadeus Cho as the Hulk?
Right.
When they've had several Hulks before.
Yeah, and and you've made the argument because you're a big Hulk fan that Amadeus Cho was a cool character as Amadeus Cho.
He was an awesome character.
He didn't need to be the Hulk. He was a cool supporting character.
Yeah.
Just
even if they give him his own book, which I think he did for a while. He was running around with Hercules. He was like a sidekick to Hercules for a while.
Yeah.
But he was like the brains of the operation. I mean, that was a great story,
right.
A great read. But I mean, getting rid of some of these, like there's been several people lift the hammer of Thor, right? Just like Beta Ray Bill wasn't named Thor.
Yeah.
Thunderstrike wasn't Thor. Why is Jane Foster Thor? Why is it,
Thor is the guy's name.
Yeah.
It's not the hammer he wields or the secret identity he hides under. So some of these don't make any sense.
Right.
Some,
If you want to understand, like Riri Williams is a great character, right? I mean, her being, but getting rid of Tony Stark.
Yeah, you
sense.
could have totally had this kind of like mentor-mentee relationship between the two, which may be what they're backpedaling to with this Generations thing.
Yeah.
You didn't need to just... I don't even know how they eliminated Tony Stark in this. I know there's been all kinds of junk with, all of the character... What was that storyline where all the characters were made bad or something like that? The Bad Blood or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. And there was...
But it was
Skrull Invasion where they're all taken over by Skrulls, but...
Oh, no. This was after that,
after
where
Secret
they
Invasion?
all did bad stuff. And they were...
I think I follow that one.
Whatever it was. But then for a while, you had Doctor Doom pretending to be Iron Man or some crap like that. And it just...
That's just weird. I mean...
These comics need to be... for better or worse, you've created name recognition for all these characters through the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
And people want that reflected in the comic book universe. They want to see the same characters in the same roles. And that's not to say that there's not room to explore other characters and other stories. They just shouldn't be taking those titles away from, Iron Man is Iron Man. Tony Stark is Iron Man.
Yeah.
If you want to have other, War Machine was a great character. It gave him a chance to take a supporting character in Rhodes and make him his own hero in War Machine.
Right.
And that's done, varying degrees of success. You could do the same thing with Riri Williams as another Iron Man-based character who's not Iron Man.
Right, exactly. They don't take over that title. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, but not to jump on the, get off on the tangent of why comics start, suck nowadays. They don't. But part of the criticism is the art style choices, too. Marvel was always known for its art, great art. Now it's gotten more cartoonish and anime, like most of it. Not that there's anything wrong with those art styles, but when it's all that style.
And it's in your main books.
And it's in your main books. I mean, and the storylines, from what I understand from the storylines now, there's no through lines for long form storytelling. It's all 4-issue arcs with a big crossover event once or twice a year, which you got to buy all the books for if you want to get the whole story. So there's no long form where they used to like have stories that pay off like a year later or whatever.
Yeah, no Gamma Bomb Run.
Yeah,
is going to come about.
Big long
nowadays.
storylines that would have the same artist and same writer working on them. But
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we'll see what happens with this. I'll be checking out Generations just for the Return of the Hulk,
Yeah.
if nothing else.
yeah, that's true.
But hopefully they can start writing the ship a little bit there. Okay, well, besides the tirade off on comics, it's like, did we do a podcast about that already?
We did. We probably are going to have to do more of them.
Yes, probably. But thanks for watching. That's all the news for this week. We'll get into we missing the game stuff. We'll catch that next time. Big Trouble in Little China. I'm looking forward to that board game.
Oh yeah,
we'll talk about it later. But thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave comments below. Tell us what news stories we didn't cover, what you want to hear from us, or if you have a different opinion on anything. Like if you don't think comics suck right now, then let us know. We're happy to answer you back.
Yeah.
But thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next week.
Boom.